Pop quiz. You're a Muslim, desperate to find something that will help gain Islam victimhood status. You want to find a mosque that has a hate speech written on it. Maybe property of Muslims destroyed or something like that. So you can immediately run to the news and say, look, Muslims are being attacked. It's racist, even though anyone can become a Muslim. And we're being attacked and stuff like that. You really want that to happen, so you can do that. But what happens, as I said, what happens if you're driving on the highway, the freeway, and you come upon this? You come upon a billboard that has this kind of well, it's been spray painted with these kind of words. You see, someone cut the power and was able to climb up there so the lights didn't shine on him, and then he was able to write Quran 9:29, 1 through 5, 11, Quran 9:29, Quran 9, 1 through 5, Quran 9, 111, and he was able to do all that. Well, would you still go to the media and report that? Think it over here. Because look, if you do go to the media and report that, what are the chances that non-Muslims will read that? And would you want them to read what was on the billboard? I mean, check this out. Check this out. For instance, Quran 9, verse 29, is the part of the Quran that tells Muslims to kill non-Muslims, even if they are people of the book, which is Christians and Jews. It says to kill them until they become Muslims, until they pay the jizya tax, which is twice as much as a Muslim has to pay in zakat. Then there is Quran 9, 1 through 5, which gives license for Muslims to break peace treaties, and after forbidden months, rise up and kill those who aren't Muslim, and to kill them until they become Muslim, or want to quote here, the only thing that keeps them from being killed is if they want to learn about the Quran and stuff like that. In other words, become Muslim. Then they're given safe passage if they want to hear about the Quran and pay the jizya and stuff like that. Then there's Quran 9, 111, which is about fighting the cause of Allah. And there's Quran 3:28, which if a non-Muslim sees, he'll realize that it's where taqiyya comes from. It's like Quran verse 16. It's like Quran 16 verse 106. But in Quran 3:28, it goes further by saying that that Muslims can't be friends of Christians and Jews, only unless they guard against them, unless they really aren't friends of Christians and Jews. In other words, because it says in Quran 3:28, if they are friends of Christians and Jews, then they're cut off from Allah. So it forces them into being hypocritical just by to be friends of Christians and Jews, but not really mean it. In other words, again, hypocrisy. And then there is Quran 4:24, which, if you study it, removes African American complaint for the time the U.S. had slavery, because it says, forbidden to you are married women. You can't have sex or rape. You can't have the sex or quote marriage end quote that is described in Quran 4:20, which is lewd, hateful, and abominable thing. But you can have that kind of sex with your married slave girl, because it says forbidden to you are married women, except those whom your right hand possess. In other words, your married slave girls. And then, if you go to the media, you have a tendency that people will read Quran 18:74 through 81, which is about a traveling companion of Moses who kills an innocent youth, just by fearing that the youth will grow up to disappoint parents or show ungratefulness toward Allah. It's this passage in the Quran that opens the door up to honor killing. And again, if you go to the Quran, if you go to the media about this billboard, you risk having people come upon 568, which tells Christians, well, people of the book, they have no ground to stand upon unless they stand firm upon the Torah and Injil, which means the Bible is not corrupted. Which doesn't make sense if the Bible is corrupted. Or you have them find 4:136, which tells you, a Muslim, to believe not only in the Quran and Muhammad, but to believe in the messengers and Allah's books, plural, which means the Bible, which doesn't make sense if the Bible is corrupted. And then there's Quran 1094, which tells you, a Muslim, to go to those who have read the before scriptures if you are in doubt about the Quran, which does not make sense if the Bible is corrupted. And further doesn't make sense because if you go to those who have read the Bible, instead of hearing something that's pro-Muslim or pro-Islam, you have the tendency to hear shirk, the worst of sins, worse than murder, worse than genocide, worse than rape, which is believing that Allah has a son. Or then you have them find about Quran 1094, which tells the reader that Allah's words cannot be changed, and that is the supreme triumph, which does not make sense if the Bible is corrupted, because, again, the Bible is supposed to be Allah's words according to the Quran. The Quran says it's a confirmation and reminder of that which went before it, which is the Bible. So, why go? Yeah, so this thing is wrong if the Bible is corrupted, because the Bible is supposed to be Allah's words. And then if you go to the media, the non-Christian world has the opportunity to learn by seeing this billboard of learning about who Christian Prince is by going to the media and finding out that he's the creator of Investigate Islam, Muhammad Tube, Debate TV, Muhammad Tube, which used to be Muhammad Tube, and they are excellent at exposing the Islam Muslims don't dare want the Christian world to learn about. And they also might find about Quran, Ahmed's Quran 5, formerly known as Ahmed's Quran 3, until it was thrown off of YouTube by Muslims. And the creator of this is IQ, who is a well, I'll tell you, both Christian Prince and Ahmed's Quran 3 are Arab speakers. They're native speakers from the Arab world, and they are excellent at exposing Islam. You, a Muslim, wouldn't want the non-Muslim world to learn about. And then there's Craig Gwynn, who created Prophet of Doom, an excellent series about the Hadith and other Islamic things. And then there's Boutros Zakaria, Father Boutros Zakaria, who is excellent at teaching about how the Quran says it's a confirmation reminder of that which went before it, which is the Bible. And then, lastly, you go to the media, and they might see this, say it's Acts 17 Apologetics, or Acts 17 Apologetics. That's a YouTube handle, which features guys who became famous when they went to an Arab festival, actually a Muslim festival, in Dearborn, Michigan, and asked about Quran 9:29. And in the process, when Acts 17 Apologetics asked about Quran 9:29, the Muslims at that Arab festival, that Muslim festival actually in Dearborn, started acted like something out of a horror science fiction show. And the one that comes to my mind is They Live. The scene where the guy goes into the I think he goes into a market, well, some store, and starts talking about what he's experiencing, and then that gets the aliens who look like us, except when you put on these glasses, it cuts through the taqiyya, the deception, and you can see what they really look like, you know what I mean? And then they started acting like the Muslims at Dearborn, Michigan's, when they were with the Act 17 Apologetics. But anyway, as I was saying, pop quiz. You really want to report something that will help gain victimhood status for Islam, but you come upon this billboard. Do you report it as a Muslim? Do you report it to the police and to the media? I am guessing that you probably won't. But if you will, let us know why you would, okay? Why you would go to the media about it. Bye.